Good morning, friends. Oh, that way's much nicer, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, actually, why am I in the frame at all? Here we go. We are in Kong Yao, Laos. Over there is Thailand. So we crossed the Thai border into Laos this morning, and we are on an epic adventure to Luang Prabang on one of these boats. So you spend 2 days on the boats. You sail for about 5 hours, then you sleep overnight in a small village, and then you sail for like 7 hours. So I'm psyched. I've got a nice lady up there making me some veggies and rice to load up on. She's gonna send me with a baguette. I'm not gonna talk too much. I'll just give you guys some good views, and we'll try to keep this video short because there's gonna be a lot of just river views, but I'm super excited. Thank you for coming with me. I'm Steph, by the way, if you haven't been here before. Let's go cruising down the Mekong. Good morning, friends. Where are we? This map is not super helpful. I can go to Singapore, I can go to Bangkok, I can go to London. That doesn't help. Good morning, friends. Steph here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel for the first time. I'm super glad you're here. We don't have an adventure today. But when you're traveling, every day is kind of an adventure. So we are going to be staying well within city limits today, just going for a little walk. And it's such a beautiful city that I wanted to bring you guys. It's not even a city, it's a town. This is a town of 55,000 people. The entire town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site on multiple criteria, which if you're someone like me, that's very exciting. If you're not, then just know that that's very exciting. It means it's a very special town. This town was founded in the 8th century by the Mon people and has had kind of a crazy history since then. We are in Luang Prabang, Laos. So we have moved over from Thailand into the People's Democratic Republic of Laos. We're going to be spending a couple weeks here. And this is really our first taste of that. So I'm going to go for a walk. There's so many beautiful temples here. This is an incredible city. I've never been here before, so this is all brand new. Let's go. Sandwich. So if the street sellers are selling sandwiches, you're pretty sure we're somewhere in Indochina, right? So Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, you can buy sandwiches, the banh mi, which isn't something you got until recently in the rest of Asia. So if you like bread, old Indochina is the place to be. I've had maybe like 4 baguettes in the past 3 days, so I'm off the baguettes now. There's no more baguettes, but they're everywhere and they're so good. So the colonial architecture is actually one of the things that makes this city a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So in Luang Prabang, this type of architecture, so the French colonial architecture, it's very well preserved, and they were here until the 50s, so it's quite new. But what the Lao architecture kind of borrowed through occupation, borrowed some of the building techniques from the colonial architecture. So a lot of the wooden traditional Laotian buildings from that period are still here and right next to the colonial architecture. So that's what the main criteria for the UNESCO World Heritage ranking for this, or designation for this city, is just the architecture, man. It's so sick. And there's temples. There's so many beautiful temples. when talking about the French architecture, back there I said when the French left. Let's make it clear, the French didn't leave. The communist Laos drove them out. This is the People's Democratic Republic of Laos, make no mistake about that. And they are quite proud of removal of their colonial shackles, which, as they should be. Laos is still a very poor country. Definitely compared to, neighboring Thailand. But they get a lot of economic support from China these days. So there's major railroads there's a high-speed rail that's been put in from China all the way down to the capital in Laos, in Vientiane. The roads have all been made by China, and also the big mining projects and the big bad things are also being done by China. So, like I talked to some people at the hotel the other night, an innkeeper that spoke English very well, and like all of her vaccines, China donated all the vaccines for COVID for all of Laos. So if it's a symbiotic relationship, I hope it works out. Let's have a look in here. So kind of the city plan as it is now this is 15th century, so the city plan itself, it's been built on top of, some of the older buildings here are from the 18th century, 17th century, but that city plan goes back to the 15th century, and so does the tradition of this being an absolute center of, this city is built for Buddha. The main hill, the city name actually comes from the statue of Buddha that the Khmer king gave to his son-in-law to come here and be the first king in Luang Prabang. But back then it was known as the land of a million elephants. So elephant motifs, they figure pretty highly. And there are bombs here. Oh, we're gonna be talking a lot about the bombs here. So not in Luang Prabang. I mean, these are obviously in Luang Prabang, but Luang Prabang wasn't bombed by the United States in the Second Indochina War, in the Secret War, but it served as an air base for American helicopters and airplanes to take off to drop more bombs on Laos than were dropped on Japan and Germany combined. The United States has made Laos take on the very unfortunate tag of the most bombed country on earth. And a lot of the bombs are still here, and a lot of kids and young people still getting hurt from them. So we're gonna look into that a little bit more, but not here. There are some years on the inscription, and I don't read any language other than English, but I see the years 1548 and then 1992. So I wonder if this wasn't founded in 1548 and then this was like rehabbed in 1992. I don't know. Sounds plausible. This lady's always trying to give you water from her hair. She's so considerate that way. This is very interesting. You can see it's relief carved, but I think it's just built out. It's not cut in, but still it's really neat. And the classic black and gold is my favorite though. tigers and lions, elephants. This is it. This is downtown. This is the main thoroughfare. And I've got a good idea in the morning is to follow the locals because they're going to the market. And I like going to the market. Ooh.
ủa mấy đó chị bác ủa vài không chút xíu nhỏ qua về
แล้วมาเก็บตังค่าสถานที่ลาวแต่ว่านี่เป็นลำบาก This way here.
một đơn giá đấy không
This is a really special temple, the Pa Hok Temple. So most of this part of the city of Luang Prabang is UNESCO World Heritage, but each individual building is considered, you know, part of that World Heritage. And this one is number 511, and it has some incredible murals in it. It's only from 1861. But still, it's not open yet because I always come too early for everything. And the reason why it's kind of important and special too, because we have the hill here, but at the bottom of the hill we have the royal palace. So the Luang Prabang was the seat of the king of the area since 1353, up until the 1970s when the communists got rid of the monarchy. So this was the seat. Even after the capital was moved to Vientiane, Luang Prabang was always the royal capital, and the French always recognized the king as the head of state. But of course, not around anymore. Palace, pretty sweet. That view is worth the hike. See how is the city of Luang Prabang? And that's the Mekong River there. And then the mountains are up there. And then the Mekong actually swings around those mountains so that it's all a bit of a peninsula. You never know it. It's so peaceful. It's so calm here that the last 120 years have been Luang Prabang's been through it, okay? It has been through it. It had the French colonialism, French Indochina, and then during the Second World War, occupied by Japan, the town was occupied by China, occupied by Thailand, like everybody kept coming through. Then the French came back, and then you have the Indochina wars. So you have a whole nother set of wars. And the country didn't really see peace until the mid-70s when the communists took over. So you have a really, really tough time for the Laotian people. And unfortunately, during the Second Indochina War, the United States is responsible for so much of that misfortune, which again, we're going to explore a little later. But it's nice to see that there's stability, there's peace. Walk through the market and everybody seems pretty happy. I took a 2-day boat trip to get here on that river from the Thai border. It was all right. It was pretty good. The Royal Palace, the National Museum, not open yet. I get up too early to go to these things. So I get some breakfast, bamboo rice. So I've already opened this one. Let me get the one I haven't opened yet for you. Ooh, look at this. It's an end piece, or like where the bamboo has an end point, and you just throw a bunch of rice in there, red rice in this case. A little bit of coconut milk. And you steam that bitch with a little husk at the end. It's so good, it's so good. These two cost 20,000 kip, which is a US dollar. I think 17,000 kip is a US dollar. So it's a nice little high energy snack. I'll have that and some fruit and I will be set until this afternoon. Let's go see what else we can see. Local traffic on the Mekong is still vital, essential. Every little village that we passed on the 2-day ride up here has its own longboat. So even if it was only like 5 or 6 huts up on the mountain with some water buffalo and some kids playing in the river, they had their own longboat. But you have to have a longboat. And what these guys do with these barges, the way they maneuver them is just insane. They are so good with them. You can see the ferry going over there. Or a barge, a ferry, a car ferry going to the other side. And then you have like luxury cruises, and then you have like the boat that I came in with. From Luang Prabang, you can get a tourist day trip that goes and takes you up the Mekong, explores a couple villages, sees a really cool cave. I don't know that I'm gonna do it this time around in Luang Prabang because I'm gonna get going on the bike and kind of skip town tomorrow, I think, but it is like on the #1 list of places to visit for 2023. So by all means, please come and enjoy. And it's really beautiful here. The food is great. The quality of the hotels is superb, very boutique-y. It's hard to get a cheap hotel here, but that's all right because you enjoy a little extra comfort when you can get it. Wow, 55,000 people. Is that a city or a town? I mean, for Laos, it's definitely a city. So this is the old royal palace. It's now the museum, the National Museum in Luang Prabang. Because at one point Luang Prabang was its own kingdom. So Laos was actually separated into 3 kingdoms, like after the first French incursion, like in the early 18th century. Might be off about that, but so it would have been a national seat of power as well at one point, not just a royal seat. I think I'm gonna skip this and I'm gonna go to the ethnographic museum actually and learn more about the ethnic minorities in the area that are still around. And this is well and good, but this is busy. I can't believe I'm saying no to a museum. Oh my gosh, who have I become? Who have I become? I don't even know myself. And we're back. Well, you guys have been living in my backpack like for most of the day. I have been crushing my goals. We got suited with a motorbike all for next week, or starting tomorrow. I got a Laos SIM card. I got a new cable for my computer. What else did I do? I did something else too. I was having like a real moment of doubt of like, I get these like crippling depressive out of nowhere, and I did take my meds this morning, so I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's because it's been more difficult, sorry, to take my meds here. So we'll see, but we're back and we're gonna go in this bridge. Yeah, but getting out, getting 25,000 steps, it's just like natural antidepressant. Makes me feel good again. I ate well. So this is the Nam Khan River. This isn't the Mekong. This is a smaller river that runs through Luang Prabang. And this is not the bamboo bridge. This is a bamboo bridge. Here only 6 months. Okay, it's only here 6 months out of the year. When the rainy season comes, it washes away. It's not rainy season, it's 10,000 kip to get in. You gotta pay the troll toll. I've been on bridges like this before, really big ones. This is kind of a really cool one though. So when the river rises in the rainy season, it just gets trashed, so they remake it every year. The little lights. So all I know about this is it's called the Old French Bridge. I know the French left in 54, so it's at least from 1954. The repair guys are using the footbridge, so we'll go back over the bamboo one. 6:30. We spent the whole day walking around, got a lot done. So some really cool temples, just beautiful colonial architecture, beautiful Lao architecture. We're just gonna end it here in the night market, which runs every night, and it feels like a lot like the Chiang Mai Sunday market or the Saturday market, but you know, Laotian stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. We had fun. Got 35,000 steps in. Learned a little bit about Laos, and we're going to learn a lot more in the next couple of weeks. So I hope you stick around. We're going to go on some adventures that are a little more harrowing than this, but they're all fun, right? Thank you so much. Bye.
우리도 낮에도 적지시더라고. 이게 뭘까? 농담이고 낮에 하고 엑스라지를 하고.